Good day, Community Hub. This is day 4 of the May the Blockchain Be With You challenge. Today's assignment, you see it up here, is watch a short video on the history of money, read the wiki article about Bretton Woods. Let me first start with the wiki article about Bretton Woods. I first heard about Bretton Woods when I was reading a book called The Big Reset. It's a book by Willem Middelkoop. I have it here. I advise you to read it. It's about also the gold wars and the financial endgame. It talks about how money is created, different currencies from different countries, how they were pegged to gold and to the dollar. That's what Bretton Woods is also about. So it's really something I would advise you to read. There's also a site. I will put this link also in the show notes on YouTube. The Big Reset. You can find the book there, and Willem also has a rather active Twitter account, so he's a nice person to follow if you're interested in this kind of stuff. He's mostly busy with gold and also a little bit with Bitcoin. The Bretton Woods system, what is it about? If you look it up on Wikipedia, you find that during World War II and a bit after, the United States was talking to 44 allies about the monetary system. And of course the USA was very powerful back then after World War. They all agreed upon pegging the US dollar to gold, so a gold standard. So the fixed price back then was $35 for 1 troy ounce of gold. That's around 31 grams of gold. And it was fixed. And all the currencies of the other nations, of the allies, was pegged to the dollar. So not pegged to gold, but pegged to dollar. And the United States back then had a really big gold supply. So that was very positive for them, of course. The Soviet Union did not participate, but 44 allied nations did. And also two major institutions were created. The International Monetary Fund and the International Bank for the Reconstruction and Development. They are now part of the World Bank Group. There's also a timeline because from 1944 to 1964 it worked well, the Bretton Woods system, but there was only one flaw, and that is that it all depended upon the discipline and integrity of the United States, because they were the only one that could print dollars. And that's exactly what went wrong. In 1965 to 1969, Vietnam was at war, and the United States were helping in Vietnam. They had to print lots of dollars. So countries came to doubt the stability of the dollar because more and more dollars were created. So from 1970 to 1973, governments started to buy gold back with dollars. So the gold supply in the United States went down. And then in 1973, Nixon decoupled the dollar from gold. And if you look at the prices of currencies, there were floating currency prices. And the Forex market is a good example of that. So from 1973, the dollar is not pegged to gold anymore. So what's behind the dollar now? Well, nothing actually. Just trust that it will work and that you can always use dollars and trade in dollars. But there's no connection with any intrinsic value. So that's good to know. That's all coupled to the Bretton Woods and Bretton Woods Conference. The Bretton Woods Conference is named after a place, Bretton Woods, in New Hampshire, where the conference was held. Well, that's a bit about what I wanted to tell you about Bretton Woods. I suggest you read the wiki. You can just scan it and find this. Paul shared a good video about that topic, YouTube. I actually also took, how do you say that? I subscribed to the channel, the 1 Minute Economics. Sounds good. It's a very short movie explaining the highlights. So Might also be a tip. I will put the link in my show notes. Well, after that, I wanted to show you in history. I will put the link in the show notes to a movie called The History of Money in 10 minutes. It's from the Open University. It explains how we got from trading in chickens or whale teeth or shells or other stuff to metal money, metal coins, and paper money, and a little bit about what inflation is and debt is. So please watch that. It's 10 minutes, so good. It doesn't take too much time. The fun thing is they also mention this in this movie is called the Ray Stones. On the Isle of Yap, they used stones as money for some while. That's actually fun to read how they did that. So that's also an advice of mine. Please read that. It's funny, and I'll put the link in the notes with the YouTube video. Well, that's just about it. What I wanted to tell you about Bretton Woods and the finance of, or the history of finance and history of money. So have fun with it, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.